friends to the show that never ends. This is Red All Over's Away End show, where we look at the opposition that we'll be facing shortly. To achieve this, we'll be talking to fans of the opposition, so I hope you enjoy the show. Finally, cast your mind back. I remember a 4-year-old boy being lifted over the turnstiles to his first match at Oakwell, standing on the Kop watching his heroes such as Barry Murphy. Now fast forward 60 odd years, the Kop is now an all-seater stand, and it's named the Barry Murphy stand after the legend. That 4-year-old boy is now finally, after all these years, back on the away end. Enjoy the show. Roll the title. This is the Red All Over show, and a warm welcome to Steve Charnock, Charlton fan. Steve, tell us all about yourself and your fanzine.
Sure. Yeah, thanks for getting my name right. It doesn't seem like it's complicated, but you'd be surprised. But it's like Charnock Ridge at the service station. I don't know how close that is to you. That's Lancashire, isn't it? I've immediately dropped on there, haven't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, apologies.
Dark Satanic Mills as opposed to God's Country.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm a freelance writer, so that's why I'm kind of involved in the fanzine, which I'm not the boss man, I'm just number 2. But I forget the name of the editor. That's not important. We don't need to talk about him. He's not here, is he? So, but we've been running it for about 3 years, something like that. We've got 13 issues in the bag. The 14th is coming out. It's at the printers now, so it should be coming out. Hopefully, it should be on sale for your game on Saturday.
Lovely. If
anyone wants to spend £4 on a fanzine for a club they don't support, they're very welcome to buy a copy, which isn't that unusual. Well, I mean, it is quite unusual, but we do have got a Barnsley supporter who's a subscriber. Weirdly enough, shout out to Dave Norris. He's an older chap who doesn't get to many games now. His wife's quite poorly, so he buys football magazines and fanzines and books and stuff to kind of stay connected. And that's quite nice to hear that when that happened. But 3 years, 14 issues. We nominated for the Fanzine of the Year award, the FSA Fanzine of the Year award last year. Won it the year before.
Lovely.
Which is good on our debut year of existing.
What's it called, Steve?
So it's called Mod Mag. That's the branding of it, because we're London, so we like to be poncy and have branding and stuff. And the mod and the mag is connected. That's what you do with branding stuff now. But it's MOD, not Ministry of Defence. It's My Only Desire.
You're right. It is poncy.
It is poncy. It's a London thing.
MOD. What did you say after that? Sorry, mate.
MOD. So My Only Desire, which sounds.
My Only Desire.
It sounds a bit sexy. It sounds a bit romantic, but it's not quite. It's just a lyrics that appear in the song, that the main sort of chant of the club. Ballycloyd Road, which I'm not going to sing.
Oh, you've disappointed me. I thought it was going to be something really juicy. Why it was called My Only Desire.
You've got a fanzine? Everybody Barnsley's got a fanzine with a fun name.
I'm not promoting somebody else. Yeah, A Up and Down. It's good. It's a good fan. It's a humorous thing. A Up and Down.
Not as close-based as the London version. So
we feature in it now and again, as with other shows that are Barnsley based, and it's irreverent. Let's put it that way. Let me ask you this, because you're talking to a Yorkshireman, and you're going to have a whole army of Yorkshire people coming down. Is it worth £4?
Is the magazine worth £4?
Yeah.
It's probably not worth £4 Yorkshire pounds, but down here we all earn hundreds of thousands of pounds a week.
Yeah, of course.
Here in London, where all the industry is. Is it worth £4 a week? Well, so we only do 4 a year, so 56 pages of high quality, nice print. I don't know. I think how much is the program? The program might also be £4. The program's, I don't know what yours is like, but ours is dry, to say the least, and it just washes its face. Is that the right phrase? I don't know. It pays for itself. We don't make any money.
Yeah. Is it better than the program then? I'm just thinking that our Barnsley fans that are going to come down, do they buy the Charlton Athletic, or do they buy yours? Do they buy the
Might ask if you
programme
want
or
a better
buy
read,
yours?
but buy the program if you collect programs,
Or both? Splash
or
out.
neither.
Barnsley fans, splash out. You know it
Why
makes
not?
sense.
Yeah.
Don't
You
take
went to go,
often.
you're coming down to London. It's not going to cost you much. It's not like a pint £7 or anything down here. So.
You're going down to the big smoke. Spend a couple of quid. Not
It's a
hurt, will
day
it?
out.
Happy, eh? Right. Thanks for that, Steve. Let's
You're welcome.
let's talk about the game. Let's get all over it. Charlton, your formation and style of play, please. Educators.
It's not particularly groundbreaking or exciting. I think, like most sides, 5 at the back and then 3-2 or 2-3 as we did last week. Whatever the formation is played, really the players just go where they like, and not generally where the ball is or where a goal's going to be scored. And it does, although there's 5 at the back, it often looks like there's 0 at the back, despite there will be men in red standing there. But it doesn't really help very much. The subject kind of style of play, since Nathan Jones has come in, we're now on like a 10-game unbeaten streak, but football is ugly. It's not pretty. I don't know whether that's going to be a sign of things to come next season or whether he's just getting the points and making sure we don't get relegated and wither and die in League Two. I don't know, but
that would be bad.
There's a lot of hoofing at the moment. It's quite ugly. So don't expect to come in and it kind of be pretty stuff.
He's a decent manager, Nathan Jones. We remember him well from Luton days twice. But yeah, I had a look at your stats, and the last 10 games, maybe even longer than that, you've won 3 and drawn 7. So
yeah, we've drawn
the
7
draw specialists. Have you drawn more than anybody else, or one of the teams that have drawn the most?
17 more than anyone else, yeah.
Oh.
Which is funny because we're on this 10-game unbeaten streak, featuring, like you say, was that 7 draws. Before that, we were on like a 10 or 12-game streak without a win, which is what saw Michael Appleton sacked. But within that run, quite a lot of those were draws. So it's been just one big nothing of the season where first half, if we're good in the first half, we're not good in the second half and vice versa. So we need to be, when we're good, we need to be scoring. And sometimes we do.
Yeah.
Mostly we don't. But we will ship goals. So that's, I mean, the last game we played was a clean sheet for the first time in 15 years or something. It feels like.
Yeah, it's Stevenage, wasn't it?
It was a horrible, horrible game. Truly disgusting. It wasn't even fun because Steve Evans was banned. He was up in the stands, so you didn't even get the kind of fun bit of watching him bouncing up and down and doing his act.
Yeah.
So that was so we just got the kind of nothing. But you say about Nathan Jones, and he is a good manager. I mean, we're extremely lucky, I think, to have got hold of him. I don't think any fans really thought that we were in for him and we just figured we'd get someone else as rubbish as the last few that we've had. But yeah, he's good. But it's a big change in style between him and Appleton. And not necessarily the football. The football was arguably a little bit prettier under Appleton. But Nathan Jones is like a real strict man manager, like a micromanager, really. Like he's in the players' ears constantly. He's screaming constantly throughout the whole game, like instructions specifically to each and every player, which I don't think all players enjoy. Yeah. Whereas Appleton, part of the reason we didn't like him was because he'd stand there like a statue, like mute. He wouldn't give any instructions. I think because he feels when he gives instructions pre-game, that's it. You should know what you're doing and you should adapt and whatever. Whereas Jones is constantly telling them, which can overload players sometimes.
Yeah, we all like an animated manager, don't we? We don't want somebody just stood there watching.
No, but what it is boring, and that's fine when you're winning because it makes you look studious, clever. But when you're losing, it makes you look like you don't care.
Yeah,
when that's what happened with Appleton. He did care, but he didn't look like he did, so we turned on him. It
might be a bit. The other stat I've got, it might be a bit unfair on Nathan Jones, since he's been. But your last 10 home matches haven't been that great. You've won 1, drawn 5, and lost 4.
Yeah, we've had a lot of away games under him. But yeah, I think the ones where he's been there have been largely draws, and a lot of the games towards the end of Appleton's reign were just flat out defeats. And I think one of the one win we did have was labouring to beat Carlisle 3-2, which I think did you have a similar result 3-2 against Carlisle? Yeah. It seems that sort of game you want to be winning 8-0 to make yourself feel better, and then you need to get turned over by them. demoralising.
We beat Carlisle both times. The home match against Carlisle, we were losing 1-0 at half time and was absolutely, we were dreadful, absolutely dreadful. And somehow
really?
we managed to turn it round and score 2 goals and just crawl over the line. Not that dissimilar at their ground. So, they fold, again, they folded. And it's something that we do a lot. We do a lot of that. You say, sometimes you think, where's the defenders? I sometimes think, we play a very similar formation. So depending on how you look at it, it's either 3 at the back or 5 at the back. We win backs.
Yeah.
3 midfield and 2 up front. Although on Monday against Burton, we changed it in the first half and played a different formation with slightly different players. And we were dreadful. Changed it back in the second half to something similar and a lot better. The problem for us is that we seem to pass it about at the back a lot from side to side rather than making real inroads into the opposition, penalty.
Yeah, that's the most frustrating thing. I really just
drives
that under Ben Garner the other season, and just
drives me insane, Steve. I don't mind possession football with an end result, getting it there, but we tend to try and get it wide and then we've got players that can put in good crosses, but they're not doing. At this minute, they're not doing. So it becomes very, very frustrating. So it sounds like, I'll tell you honestly, at the start of the season, a number of us thought that, with the players that you were signing, thought the Charlton were going to be up there and, vying, if at least for the playoffs, if not for automatic promotion.
So did we, Andrew. So did we. Fortunately not. Yeah. I don't know what it was. We started the season buoyant, and the headline for the issue that we put out at the start of last season was it's the hope that thrills you, because the hope that kills you. Normally you start off thinking it's going to go, and then it goes. Well, we were confident as well. I think part of it, similarly to teams like you're looking at the league and you're thinking, all right, what's going on? There aren't very many other clubs that should really be dominating here, but we won the first game of the season, nice, decent game, and then Dean Holden, who was in charge, lost 6 in a row. He got sacked, and then we replaced Michael Hampton, and everyone just knew then that's it. But the season was going nowhere. It's got kind of bad to worse to middling to we're safe now. So now it's just a kind of bit of a shrug your shoulders effort from everybody, really, fans and players.
Yeah, you're 8 points above the relegation, so I can't see for 1 second you being anywhere near the relegation. Teams are down at the bottom. I know that you can say, they're only 8 points behind, but they're down there for a reason. It's because they're not winning.
Yeah.
Although I have to say, we lost to Cambridge at home. We were down there as well on Good Friday.
Yeah,
so it happens. We always say that you get, over Easter, you can get, whether it's Good Friday or on Easter Monday, you can get some really daft results. You just hope it's not you. Well, on Good Friday, it was us. And you can't say we didn't deserve it. If we were still playing in that game, we wouldn't have scored.
Yeah.
I don't know. So your recent performances, you think, have picked up then?
Well, I'd say the last 2 have not picked. The last 2 have been really, really flat, really tired, really nothing. Games, I don't know whether it's that the players kind of realise that maybe they're safe. I mean, you imagine that they're getting rollickings from Jones when they get back into the changing room, but both games, I don't know whether maybe he's just playing for a pragmatic, he's thinking pragmatic, he's just thinking, get the points, don't worry about it too much. But he's quite honest in interviews and he doesn't sound very pleased with what he's saying, but it's 2 points creeping closer to the bottom of mid-table.
Yeah.
But it's not exciting. It's not, if I were you, I would fancy it a little bit.
We've not been particularly exciting, so our travelling fans might have a little cat nap during the game. Who knows? Right, I think I know who some of them are, but tell me about what place for us, from our point of view, what place to watch out for. I know there's Alfie May.
Yeah, he'll be the one that you've heard of. And when we play to his strengths, he's the best player. He'll get Player of the Year almost undoubtedly. If we play to his strengths, he plays well. He scores. If he scores, we win, or it's a score draw. If we don't play to his strengths, play him out of position or whatever, he doesn't get in the game, he doesn't score, we generally don't win. So you have to see whereabouts he gets utilised. So he's the one you'll have heard of. There's been some, we've had about 6,000 players play for us this season. Incredible number of loan signings that come in and out. Some that are still here that don't get played. Normally we're ravaged by injuries. At the moment, we haven't really got any injuries. We've got just a squad of about 450 players, none of which are very good. Particularly, the players to watch out for, the kids really. The season's one good thing has been seeing some kids come through. So we bought a young lad called Thierry Small from a free agent, maybe came from Southampton. He's very good, left wing back, just turned 20. Very quick, direct. But than that, Daniel Carnu's broke through to the first season this season. He can finish when he gets a chance. And Roy Anderson's the other one. He's a rangy midfielder. Just started playing the Jamaican international team. Again, another one who's just broke through to the first team. It's kind of these players, and it happens quite a lot. These young players who come through, and you think they're probably on like 500 quid a week, and they end up being our best players. And you know that there are some haunting the squad on whatever, 5, 6, 7 grand, whatever it is, who sometimes don't make the bench. And you're like, geez. But yeah, that's it. Look out for the kids. And
there's a couple of players I'd like to ask you about, because obviously we remember Alfie May from when he played at Doncaster, which is near to Barnsley. And when he went to, when we got Michael Duff as our head coach from Cheltenham, we all hoped that he'd bring Alfie with him.
Yes.
Because, as I said, we remember him from Doncaster, but he didn't, because he was scoring goals for fun then. He's obviously come to you and still got scoring goals for fun. So, you know.
Yeah, I think the main reason that we got him was that he's local. I think he's from North Kent, kind of South London he went. So we wanted to come back to the area. We were the natural choice. So that was in our favour, really. But you'd imagine he could have gone up to you. What's a number of kind of upper League One, lower Championship clubs.
It's a long way for.
But he still scores. Yeah, one thing he's not done, he's not scored any worldies, which I seem to remember at Charlton. He was always pinging goals in from mad angles and from half the line and things. But he's had a few digs, but he's not done one of them yet for us.
I hope it don't come on Saturday. We'll see. Another one from our near neighbours, Rotherham United, Freddie Ladapo.
Yes.
You tell me how he's doing, because you know he was a big name at Rotherham and then he wasn't. You know, there seemed to be a lot of hassle. I don't know if it was between the management and him, or the club. And
I don't know whether he can be a bit of a roguish character. Yeah, I mean, at Ipswich he was scoring goals, and then it seemed to be falling out of favour. I mean, obviously they've got a lot of good players and doing very well at the moment. He's a big kind. He's not hit the ground running or done any running, particularly since he was got here. I think he scored once, maybe. He seems like a handy squad player. Like, he's got quality, so we'll bring him. Come on. I imagine him. He started the last game. He may start. He'll come on, and I don't think he'll cause many problems. I don't know. He's 29, 30. I think he's out of contract. He's on a short-term contract.
Oh, right.
No, he's on loan with us, but look, he's out of contract at the end of the season. And we'll be picking him up.
Last season we had a player on loan that you've had on loan, and I think he's left you, Slobodan Tedic. Who,
oh yeah, he played at Barnsley, didn't he?
He got injured for a few months, and he Marmite. Some people liked him and thought he brought something, because you're a big, a tall, strong lad. Other people thought he is like waste of a shirt.
He's awful.
He was. I don't think he was particularly good for us personally, but
I don't know what it is. I mean, I can't really believe that he plays for Man City. I mean, he doesn't play for Man City. Why he's on their books? He's not even in English, so it's not like there's some sort of you need a certain number of players or whatever it is. Like, are they doing something like his mum a favour by keeping all the books? I don't know, but
I think they signed
him. Like a dossier of photographs of someone out in the club. Again, I wouldn't say, but
I think they signed him for something like 2 or 3 million. I think
maybe that's why they don't want to get rid of him. Yeah. I suppose that's it. You keep him, loan him out, hope they score a few goals, and then maybe some weird Belgian team buy him or something.
Yeah.
But, not good. We sent him back. He didn't even do his whole entire loan, I think.
Well, I noticed that the season, while he was with you, he scored 2 goals, which is about his tally for us in the season. So he was injured for about 3 months, but
I think both came off his backside as well.
Yeah. Last one that I'm very interested in, and actually gutted that we didn't sign him, even though we've got a good goalkeeper in Liam Roberts, was Harry Isted. At Barnsley, we loved Harry Isted
Oh
and
yeah.
fully expected him to, and hoped that he would sign. And then the manager left and it all changed. Didn't know who the manager were going to be. It took us quite a while to get a new manager, or new head coach, as we call it. And Harry signed for you, and we were all gutted because we think he's a really, really good goalkeeper.
Yeah, it was surprising. I remember watching, it was the playoff final, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He excelled and pulled off a couple of incredible saves in that. I remember thinking, like, this kid's cool, I like him. I'm not even sure we were really, didn't know that we were massively in the market for a goalie at the time. I think we'd settled on who's going to be our number one.
Yeah.
And then when we bought Isted, he just, in I think most fans' minds, he was going to become the number one. And it was between him and Ashley Maynard Brewer, kind of youth product of ours. And to be fair, at the start of the season, he lost the battle. So he was forming the bench for the first 6 months of the season. And since Jones has come back in, the kind of Luton connection, he's reinstalled him. And he's looked better than the few games he got at the start of the season, where he looked shaky. He looked really shaky. He didn't look like he had a lot of confidence, but I don't know. Sometimes you feel like, I don't know, maybe it's just sort of being cynical or whatever. You feel like your club's cursed a little bit. It's like everybody who comes, when they're good, they're not so good when they sign for them. That's not true now for me, of course, but yeah, he's a little more solid now. So a little more hopeful that he can continue. Whereas, but most fans are not sold on him, I don't think. I think there's a thought that perhaps we might get rid of one of these two and get another one in.
Yeah. Well, we're hoping that he's going to be Barnsley's secret agent and chuck a couple of balls in the back of the net for us. Because we could do it away.
I don't think you'd have to pay him to do that. He might just do it anyway. I feel bad saying that he's not that.
That's right. You said about what would you say as a team? What I'm going to ask you about strengths and weaknesses. What would you say the strengths are for us to look out for?
I think now that we are a little bit.
Thought you sounded gone off for a minute then, Steve.
Yeah, I think we're a little more organised now on the Jones. I think if you were to be studying a lot of video footage from across the season, you might think, oh, these were pushovers. Well, it's not a problem. I think that's not the case now. We're well drilled. That's one thing. We've got energy and youth, so there's a little bit of that going on. That's kind of it, really. I mean, based on the last few games, it's difficult to pick out too many strengths.
What are your weaknesses? And I promise you, I'll not tell anybody. It's just between me and you. Nobody else will get to know.
How long have you got? No, it's really narcoleptic defending. It's just, I don't know. They seem, sometimes you feel like they're going to come out, and when they go in half time, you feel like they're going to come out in dressing gowns next time. It's just, I don't understand. They'll all fall asleep at the same time. It's like some sort of offside trap, but dreaming. I don't know. Like, that's been the same this season. Last season, it looks like you're playing well. You're doing everything that you feel like they've been told, and then there's a goal, and then exactly the same thing. We'll just turn off for a corner, and that's it. It's just easy tap in or a header or whatever. So that's that. That's the main one. I won't go into the various other ones. We haven't got time.
The most vital question to ask for any Barnsley fan. You might not know, but Barnsley sometimes have somebody called Tumble Down Ted that plays for them. In fact, I'll show him you. That is Tumble Down Ted.
Right, and that's a teddy bear?
That's a teddy bear. And what happens with him is that when he gets near the penalty area or just outside the box, somehow he finishes up on the floor appealing for a free kick. Whether anybody's touched him or not, it don't matter. He's down. He tumbles down like a good one. We've got a few of those. And just so people know...
You're a team of cheaters, is this what you're saying?
No. There's only a few. Just so people know, he's available in the Red All Over Club shop. Can buy him.
Oh, I see. This is a entirely pro-bad in advertising.
Free advertising.
What am I getting out of this? Is this some sort of affiliate marketing? Am I going to get a kickback for that?
It's
10% of all teddy bear sales.
He sometimes plays for the opposition. In fact, he frequently plays for the opposition. Bless him. If he was playing for Charlton...
I see what you... I'm with you now. I'm with you.
Who would he be if he played for Charlton?
Well, as we're not cheaters, I would say that that's a difficult question to answer. I don't know. I feel like if one of our players goes down in the opposition box, probably because they've tied their own shoelaces together more than they're cynically diving. I don't know. Alfie May's got a good dive in him. I don't know if I've seen him do it, but I think if he did it, he'd do it well and he'd probably get away with it as well.
Yeah, probably would. I seem to remember that Ladapo used to do it at Rotherham a fair bit, but maybe he's learned the error of his ways.
Is that local rivalry that's taking your memory there?
Certainly, if you'd have still got Tedic, certainly Tedic should have been a prime candidate for going down. He was good at going down in the penalty area. Not good at getting penalties, but good at going down.
Scoring them, I imagine.
A couple more questions. We've got Red All Overs chairman and general chief organizer as a guy called Tom Webster. He's got two young twins, George and Isaac. They'd like to ask you a couple of questions. So I'm going to pass you over to them for their first question.
Can you remember your first away game, or are you too old like Andy?
You know what? I can't. And I don't know that's whether because I'm a similar age to you, Andy, or what it is. Like, I genuinely can't. I can't remember the first game I went to. I can't remember the first away game. I can't remember any of the games at the end of the season. Even if it's the last game of the season, we're talking to people and they'll go about, oh, remember that one against Fleetwood? Oh, I can't believe that one against Oxford. I'm like, oh, I must not have gone to that game. And I had gone to it. I just don't.
Can you remember a memorable away game?
Sorry?
Can you remember a memorable away game? Can you remember any away game?
This is good. It looks
like
your age. This might be quite a problem. I might have to see a doctor about this. I don't know whether my brain just tries to protect me from trauma by making me forget things, but not particularly. I don't remember any. If I remember games, I don't remember the football, the result, who played. Not like some people. I mean, you'll have them at every club, but there'll be people who can remember games from the mid-30s. So they'll be able to tell you like if they're starting 11 every game they've ever been to. I'll remember a game if like something weird happened outside the stadium or like. You saw two people fighting in a cubicle or something like weird happened, and I might remember that.
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll have a word with them, Steve, and make sure that they don't send you any hate mail for not answering the question. So they've got a second question for you. So I'll pass you back over to them for their second question.
Why don't you support a good team like Man City or Liverpool, or best of them all, Barnsley?
It's a good question. I don't support Barnsley because I've never been to Barnsley, though.
You've no idea what you're missing.
I don't hear it's lovely, but I don't hear it's not lovely. I'm sure it's fine. I don't support a team like. It's shameful. I did used to support Man United. This is not to my credit. As a teenager, I realised that was as a kid I did, and as a teenager I realised that was shameful behaviour as a southerner. So I stopped that. My family are actually from north of the river, so they're all Arsenal and Tottenham. So I decided to rebel, and I went for Charlton. That was kind of the time around when we first got promoted into the Premier League. So whatever that was, 98, 9 kind of time. So yeah. I'm not a local lad, so I'm one of about 3 Charlton fans who weren't born within a 10-minute walk of the ground, probably, which makes me, I think, maybe like the world's least successful glory hunter. But that went kind of wrong.
So let me get this right. You've not got a deep-seated whole life love for Charlton Athletic. You did it to spite your family. Is that right?
Basically, to spite my old man, yeah, because I didn't want to support Arsenal.
It's funny you should say it because I don't know if you know him, but a Lincoln fan that we have on that's on a number of shows, Jake Tong, his dad did his best to get him to support Manchester United, and he refused. He said, "I'm going to support my local team." So, you know, we called his dad out on the away end when we played Lincoln and got hammered by Lincoln, funnily enough. So I'll not call you out. I mean, your dad. I mean, I'll call your dad out. What's your dad's name, Steve? Or what was it? Bob, you're a wrong un.
He is a wrong un, supporting Arsenal.
That's really
from
wrong.
Woolwich, of course, originally.
Yeah. That's
even
really
as a North Londoner, he supported a South London team.
I was going to say, Bob, you should let your son support his local club, but you're not even a local to Charlton. So I don't know what I'm talking
I'll
about.
just let your son do whatever he likes, which he does because I'm 39. It's fine.
Thank you for that. I'm sure they'll be thrilled with your answers. Finally, Steve, game on Saturday. What do you
There's a
think?
game on Saturday.
What do you think there's going to be?
We play.
What's your prediction for Saturday's game? Please don't say a draw. Please say something.
I'm
other
going to
than
say a draw. I'm going with the odds. The odds suggest a draw. It's up to you to come down and win. We ain't going to bother doing it. So if you want to win,
What do you think the score's going to be, Steve?
1-1.
1-0. Oh, there's a couple of our show have said 1-0. One said 1-0, one said 2-0. It becomes a bit of a joke because I always say 2-1 to Barnsley. And what I sometimes do, I always say 2-1 on our show. Sometimes I record the away end before we record our own show. So obviously, if I'm talking to such as you, I lie through my back teeth and say that we're going to draw 1-0 or you'll beat us 2-1. Then obviously, when we record our show, I revert to type and say Barnsley's going to win 2-1. So our show's already up and running, so I can't lie. So it's going to be 2-1 to Barnsley. But that is more with that.
That's fine.
More with that than that. So
I'm spineless. I'm happy to change my mind and say 2-1 to Barnsley.
There's nothing like convincing. Well, Alfie'll score 1, won't he? Goodness me. So, we'll see anyway. Steve, thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure talking with you.
Thank you for having me on. Well, one thing I was going to mention quickly before you go, you're wearing the away version of it, but I was hoping you might be wearing the home version. What has the season been like with the kit?
You're not the only person to ask that. I can explain the kit to you. In the late 70s, we had an iconic kit. I think that's the word to use. It's not quite the word I would use, but it's the word I've heard used, where it had a couple of stars on it. And this season, for the start of this season, one of our directors, Julianne Kay, got a friend of hers over in America, Kid Super, to design something that would be equally iconic with a nod to the past and something different from the normal red shirt, white collar, white cuffs and what have you, just something a bit different. So this season we've had, as you've seen, you'll not see it on Saturday, fortunately, the iconic Kid Super 6 stars American version of Barnsley Football Club shirt. It's absolute Marmite. It really, some people love it, often young uns. Some people love it.
Yeah.
I bought it for this show, and if I'd have thought it through, I'd have wore it. So you could have seen it. It's all its glory. I don't know if you can see this one, but you can just make out the stars are there, but they're a little bit they're more subdued. Let's put it that way than the home shirt.
It is designed by an American, because I remember when it first came out, yours was one of the first shirts unveiled at the off season. Everyone was going mad about it, wasn't there? It's the first thing you think. You look at it, you're like, that looks like an American has designed it, but surely they haven't.
It absolutely does. It's caused controversy. Let's put it that way.
I like it. I think it's nice, interesting. I like the central badge. Your badge is a strange badge, but it's in the middle of the shirt, which is nice.
Well, the badge, it's the thing in the middle as the emblem of the town of Barnsley. It's the the borough council, the borough's thing. Yeah, that's with the steelworker and the miner. I think I'm trying to look at it upside down.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. I can see it. So yeah, you can see it's a miner on the right. On the left, that's steelwork. Is it? It looks like
it might be glassworks, because in Barnsley there are
no, it is. You're right. Yeah, it's got like a glass. It looks like an ore, or it looks like
glass.
I thought it was like an ice hockey player.
You see, we work hard up in Barnsley. We don't just lounge about doing nothing, doing financial stuff like the Big Smoke.
Yeah, if we were to have our own design, if our own club badge like that, we'd have like marketing managers or like city bankers and people out there with big ties on.
What did you say? Bankers? I wasn't sure what you said for a minute then. Bankers.
Is that a poodle on top of the crest? Poodle holding a dartboard?
No, it's a Gryphon.
There's a lot going on.
It's a Gryphon. It's not a poodle. It's not. It's
oh,
not,
I see. It's got wings.
We're not a London club. Poodle. We're a northern club. Yorkshire Grit. What are you talking about?
Oh, it's a Griffin holding a dartboard then. Okay.
Griffin. How tells you want to have a pop hat before I cut
I thought
you
we'd had a very pleasant conversation. I wanted to end it on that.
before I cut you dead.
Well, you can change what you think. That's 5-0 Barnsley.
I'll put you down for all three. A draw, 2-1 and 5-0. Make it 5-1, Alfie will score. We can't not concede. And I guarantee, as near as anybody can guarantee, you'll score first. Last season, we went the whole season last year. Bearing in mind that we finished up in the playoffs, if we went behind, we never won. Never ever won. The best we could hope for was a draw. This season, we've got so many points from coming from behind because we've had to. You know, we give an early goal away or a goal in the first half.
Why is that just for starts?
I just think that we haven't got a full 90 minutes in us. We play well for 45 minutes and not very well for another 45 minutes. And it varies which half we do it in. If I'll tell you, if we played 90 minutes like we can play somewhere our 45 minutes, we'll absolutely paste somebody. If we have 90 minutes like we can also do 45 minutes, like we did at home to Lincoln, we'll get pasted. So it's been a very strange season.
That's the same for Charlton. But I wonder, I mean, you might know better from speaking to other fans of other clubs doing this. I often think, or like you get into a conversation where you go, my club does this, and you think, hang on, I'm moaning about something. I bet this is true of every club. So like we've only seemed to be able to play 45 minutes, and you spot the same things. And it's always, I was going to say, if there was a player playing for you that used to play for us, he's guaranteed to score. I don't know. Is there data that suggests that that's true, that we can see more goals to ex-players? I mean, even like last week, against Exeter, our ex-left back scored against us. But maybe like you think that, maybe everyone thinks.
Oh, we do. Oh, I can guarantee.
I think every club thinks the same things about that, sort of cynically about our own club.
I guarantee that if an ex-player comes and plays at Oakwell, say, I guarantee that we will say, "Oh, he always scores against us. He's forced to score. He always scores against us.
I think that's
whether he does or not, don't matter. It don't matter whether he does or not. He always does.
One time it happens, that's the time you remember.
Pity he don't always score for us. We'd have 200 goals a season if they scored as many as we think they score. But never mind. Steve, thank you. Hotels you want to talk about?
No, I had a pop at your shirt, and a pop at your badge. Good luck for the rest of the season. I think we made the playoffs because we've got Dave Norris, our subscriber. So that's the one connection we have. And I don't like any of the other clubs up there.
I told Barnsley fans, get his fanzine bought. £4. Come on. Yeah. It's a cup of coffee. Well, it's actually cheaper than a cup of coffee in that London.
Yeah, it's about a third of a pint in London. So.
Oh, don't tell them that. They'll not buy it if you say a third of a pint. Don't tell them that. Don't tell my friends that it's. Oh no. Talk coffee. Right, Steve. Thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, man. It's been good.
I've only one thing left to say. There's some people on the pitch. They think it's red all over. It is not.